Hi guys, and welcome back here at 1000 PS. This week it's all about Supersport bikes. We have 12 lined up from small to huge, everything's included. But today it's about the KTM RC 390. Is it still the benchmark? Did things change? Is there anything you have to know? So stay tuned and find out.
Here we have a 390 cubic centimeter single-cylinder Supersport from KTM, which primarily has a more radical riding position compared to the other bikes. That's absolutely the first thing that stands out to me when I sit on this motorcycle. The handlebars are significantly lower compared to its rivals. Apart from that, as I said, it's a single cylinder, which means that due to increasingly strict emissions regulations, the power delivery had to be slightly adjusted. As a result, it sometimes doesn't feel quite as smooth when opening the throttle. However, I believe that this small issue could be resolved with an exhaust system, a remap, or ideally both. The seat is very comfortable, the display is modern, and the brakes work well. The bike comes with a really great electronics package that others don't have, specifically the Supermoto ABS. Yes, this bike features Supermoto mode, and I think that's just brilliant because here on the Supermoto track, I was really able to have fun, brake really late into the corner, slide into it, and that, of course, is an absolute blast. So, the RC 390, fantastic first impression.
Dankeschön.
So, my thoughts on the KTM 390 RC, I have to say it took me a bit of time to warm up to it. After the first lap, my immediate reaction was that it wasn't for me at all. The riding position didn't quite feel right to me, though I couldn't pinpoint exactly why. Maybe because it's noticeably more aggressive, and you really feel like you're sitting deep in the bike with a lot of weight over the front. This front-heavy feel took me a while to get used to, but I have to admit, after 2 or 3 more laps, it actually won me over. At first, I thought the precision wasn't quite my thing, that it didn't feel sharp enough, but since it's fairly short and doesn't weigh much, the handling itself was actually quite easy. The brakes, on the other hand, felt almost too aggressive. The modulation isn't bad, but it's not amazing either, somewhere in the middle. But I think that's just a matter of getting used to it the more you ride. So yeah, it's not my favorite, but it's definitely not a bad bike either. I'd want to spend a bit more time with it to get a complete picture. But for now, I'd say it's solidly in the good average range for me.
The KTM RC 390, as mentioned, is one of the few sport motorcycles that comes with a single-cylinder engine. Since we're already on the topic, let's talk a bit more about it. A single-cylinder engine is typically known for delivering power from low revs. However, that's a bit different with the RC 390. In the lower rev range, there's not much power to be found. You actually need to rev it up a bit more to get into the power band. I'd say you need around 6,000 RPM to really tap into its performance, which is quite unusual for a single cylinder, but that's what it takes to get decent power out of it. KTM claims the engine produces around 43 horsepower, but from low revs, it feels noticeably weaker because it lacks that immediate punch you'd usually expect. This makes the engine feel a bit sluggish at times. On the other hand, the refinement is generally quite good. It runs smoothly without major vibrations, which is definitely a plus for everyday road use. That part is well executed.
Another strong point of the bike is its electronics package. Despite its relatively small displacement, it comes with a good range of rider aids, and some of them can even be partially or fully deactivated. Many competitor bikes also have rider aids, but they're often so basic that they don't work effectively. That's not the case with the KTM, so as everything functions well. It comes equipped with traction control and of course ABS. What I particularly like is that the ABS can be set to the so-called Supermoto mode. This setting limits ABS intervention to just the front wheel, allowing you to brake into corners sideways in proper Supermoto style. A standard ABS system would never allow this because it detects when the rear wheel starts to slide and immediately releases brake pressure at the front to stabilize the bike. But with this system, I have to say, the rider gets a lot of freedom to play around, try different techniques and have a great time on the bike, especially on closed circuits, supermoto tracks and similar environments where you really want to push it. The riding position is also quite supermoto oriented. You sit very close to the handlebars, which allows for extremely agile riding. Thanks to the wide handlebars, you can easily maneuver the bike in different directions with minimal effort. It feels incredibly light and responsive. For such a small motorcycle, and particularly for a supermoto style bike, it offers an impressive level of precision and stability, which isn't necessarily typical in this category. This also translates to excellent feedback from the tires, making it really enjoyable, especially when tackling quick direction changes. It handles switchbacks with ease. The suspension works well overall and it's fully adjustable. It offers a good balance between comfort and damping, ensuring that the bike doesn't become unsettled in aggressive riding situations. As a result, the RC390 can be ridden dynamically with great confidence. To sum it up, KTM has done a solid job with the 390, especially in the entry-level class. It has a lot to offer in terms of riding dynamics and electronics. However, the engine does require some compromises, as its power delivery isn't quite what you'd expect from a single cylinder. Compared to the competition, it lacks some low-end torque and needs to be revved higher to get the most out of it. That's something to keep in mind. A nice extra from KTM is that for an additional cost, you can equip the bike with a quick shifter and a blipper function, both of which work well. The tuning of these features is well executed and complements the overall electronics package nicely. Another noteworthy point about the engine is the well-chosen gear ratios. First gear stretches just to the limiter at around 50 km per hour. But this also means that the bike requires frequent gear changes due to its narrow usable rev range of roughly 3000 RPM. This results in a very shift-intensive riding experience. However, with the quick shifter and blipper, it becomes much more manageable since you don't have to use the clutch constantly, making the ride even more enjoyable.
So that's it about the KTM RC 390. Do you have personal experiences with a bike? Are they positive? Are they negative? Share it with us, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, and we're going to see each other very soon.